very good morning to all of you. Uh, it's really a great day to be here on three occasions, on three points. One, of course, it's the International Women Day, and the significance of that has been well enunciated in the last half an hour, so I won't repeat that. It's really something we need to take care of, this diversity and equity. And the second thing is the theme of this today's event, which Ashutosh again explained, deep tech innovation and AI for a sustainable future. All the three keywords are absolutely essential. And the third one is very personal to me, and that is the book release on Chandrima Shaha, a very dear friend and a person with whom I worked very closely for almost 4 years when I was in INSA. And she was really a key pillar at that time in doing many things which we did at that time. And of course, her presidentship again is iconic, the first women president of INSA, and all the accolades she carries with her with so much humility and grace. So, congratulations, Chandrima, and it's absolutely a pleasure to be here on this book release. And I couldn't have missed it, and I was already forewarned by my very dear friend Arun Grover. He had told me that something is cooking and it will cook by that time. So I knew that I had to be in Delhi. So all these things really make this day very special. So when I was asked to give also a few remarks, I thought I'll just make a few slides just to put the data in front of us and see where we are and what we need to really look at in really empowering she. So if you look at the statistics, we have highest number of female graduates in the STEM fields globally. If you look at this, we have 42.7%, whereas the other developed countries have ranging from 27 to 38%. So that's a very, very pleasing thing, and this is something we should almost make it equal to close to 50%. Also, if we look at the PhDs awarded, that this data is 2-year old. This was the only last data available. Out of 32,600 PhDs, it's almost equal. Male says 18,464 and women is 14,124. That's quite a good number. And what actually is the concerning thing is the next point, that as they go higher up after their graduation, that participation decreases, and that participation is roughly 23% to 24% depending on what survey you take. And this leak which happens from the time they do post graduation or BTech engineering, all those things to the job, that's something which we need to see. Of course, there are other finer points, like the distribution is in all subjects is not uniform. That's something in engineering, it's much less as compared to biological sciences and so on. But that is something is getting corrected, as we know, because if you look maybe 20 years back, there were very few women in IITs and engineering colleges. That has changed, and it is changing very, very fast. So in this, we need to work on how we reduce, how we remove the leaky processes, and some steps have been taken by various ministries and departments. So I thought we should thank them again for all those efforts, and more need to be done. For example, we have Vigyan Jyoti, which is for high school girls in rural areas, that is to encourage them. Then we have CSIR Aspire program and their WARM program. Then we have DBT, this is called BioCare, again encouraging women. And then we have DST program on Vice Kiran, again a very important program, a Curie and Gati. So all these are very praiseworthy efforts which are happening, and all the agencies, all the institutions need to take their responsibility. And I'll come in the last slide on what we are proposing to do on that. So this is something, a journey which is going well, but we have to increase the acceleration. So if you look at the other part which is there in the title of this theme of today, the entrepreneurship, the innovation, if you look at exponential growth in Indian science, technology and innovation ecosystem, you will see that now we have a innovation index 39th last year 2024. Patents have increased from almost 6,000 to 1 lakh in the last 10 years. And startups, which is really a story in itself, and so much can be said more than what I am saying. We had 450 startups in 2014 as registered on DPIIT website. You know, DPIIT is the nodal agency to nurture startups. Now, till recently, this is almost a month-old data, 2-month-old data, we have 157,000 startups. And good news is that in these startups, we found that almost 74,000 startups have at least one women director. That I think is a very, very pleasing thing. We don't realize it till we see the data, and this is something which we should see that it remains so or even increases. So a map I don't expect you to see, but it is just tell you where the startups are located, and it is all over the place in all states and all union territories. The growth in women-led startups, if you look at, we have almost like 8% startups from between 2014 to 2019. Sorry, 9 has come down for some reason. And after that we had 13% growth. So this 18% had at least one women startup in the unicorns. And unicorns, you can see that 11 has become now almost 116. This is again a old data, and now it is almost like 160 or so unicorns. Again, 10% of the India's new startup unicorns are women led. This is where we need to see how this 10% can go higher up. And 20.37% of women are MSME owners. So there is not that much for gross thing. You can take startups and MSME together, though there are differences. But if you look both of them, this is roughly like 23% of the labor force, which is women. So this in product niche, we are moving towards becoming a product nation, and that should be our goal. From the service economy, we need to go to product nation, and some things are already happening in the last few years. I just thought we'll take some examples just to say that this is all happening really, not only in terms of simply making a statement. In diagnostic, we have I have written the startups. In vaccine and therapeutics, again we have Bharat Biotech, Serum Institute, Zydus. Devices, we have again Cerebro and C3 Vision. Space, again a very, very fast increasing sector. We have almost now more than 400 startups in space arena. And digital public infrastructure, which we are also very proud of, that how this Aadhaar and UPI payments are really making a dent in our daily life in a positive way, and this is really going globally. So if you look at the numbers, almost 15 billion transactions in India since in August 2024. I think it's mind-boggling. It's just that it has really taken up, and I thought I'll again mention this is a wonderful model where the public private partnership is the key point. So the platforms or the framework was made with the government support, but all the implementation is completely in private domain. Like you can have payment, you don't have to be tied to Bhima or Paytm, anything you can choose of your liking, all private sectors. So it's a very nice thing where government took a lead, made all the initial investment and the platform, and now it is being rolled out by the private sector. Again, if you look at deep tech startups, this is something I keep on saying in all fora, that we have to work on it. Our deep tech startups are almost only 10% of the total startups, and this is something we need to see how we enhance it. Because if you want a product nation, if you want really India as a tech giant in this decade, we have to see that these deep tech startups are encouraged. So our office has come out with the policy framework which was for public consultation till recently, and we need to see what we need to do that. So again, some numbers I have said 10 to 15% of GDP share comes from that in financial year 16 to 24, and 6.4 lakh jobs and so on. So the key point message of this slide is that women remains underrepresented in deep tech domains, and this is something we need to work on. Oh, okay. So inclusive initiative for promoting women entrepreneurship. I gave you some examples from the ministries for the other promotion, but here also there are efforts. I thought we should take note of it. 10% of SIDBI's fund of funds is allocated for women-led startups, equity and debt financing. I think this is something is the effort which has been made. Reduced annual guarantee fee for women entrepreneurs under CGSS, and then we have the Startup India Hub dedicated women entrepreneurship page with central and state policies, state startup ranking evaluating policies and incentives for women-led startup nationwide, and national startup awards again honoring startups across 20 sectors with women-led categories. So these are again some efforts in entrepreneurship, and this is again we need to see how we really carry forward these and even enhance them. Next, if you see the strength, how do we strengthen the pipeline in the deep tech boost? Because the deep tech, as you know, is based on very cutting edge science and technology, taking it through the innovation route and making a product. So again, there is some work which has been done in the last 10 years on in Atal Innovation Mission. So we have 50,000 annual tinkering lab planned this time. It was 10,000 so far, and now this will be made 50,000. And we have government's initiative for 500 crore AI Center of Excellence for Education in this budget. You would have seen another 500 crores have been given to Ministry of Education, along with the other 3 centers of excellence on sustainability, smart cities, agriculture, and medical, I think healthcare. So these 3 centers have been created, and this is the 4th one which will be created this year on AI in education. Again, the theme of this meeting today again amplifies how AI is so very important. So So just I thought we can take note that 10,000 crore startup funds have been given in this budget, as you all know, and we need to see how do we increase the dedicated funding for women led deep tech ventures. This is something we need to see how do we make the efforts on that. Stronger industry academia collaboration to encourage to ensure women scientists can transition from lab to startups, and more women in leadership role with research institutions, policy making, and corporate R&D. This number, which is much less than the numbers which start with 44%, and I told you that as they go higher it becomes almost 26%, but it even becomes very small when it comes to leadership roles, and that's something we need to look at. So I thought at this stage I can uh, close my talk, but my swarth takes over, and I thought I'll tell you a few things on what my office is doing, my team is doing in this domain. We are doing many things, but related to today's theme, I thought I'll bring this so that some of you are aware and take advantage of this. So we have a very wonderful platform called Manthan. So Manthan is a this is joining the demand side and the supply side, namely people who have problems to be solved, who have issues, who need solution, and people who have the solutions. So we have the demand side from industries, foundations, they put the problem statements and the challenges, international partners, and central line ministries. And on the supply side, we have educational institutes, all educational institutes, be it IIT, ISC, NITs, R&D labs, and startups and incubators. So this tying up between the two is on a platform which is really curated by our team, a very small team. They go to various places, encourage people to look at this, and you will be happy to note in the last 3 years, less than that, this was launched on 15th August 2022, and in less than 3 years we have 800 opportunities sourced, out of which 190 are from government. So they have given the problem statements which are being solved by our startups and academia. We have budget opportunities of 8,286 crore committed, out of which 1442 crores have already been given, and many projects are over. I think this is all, most of it is private money, government money is a small fraction, and this is where this huge synergy is now coming between academia and industry through this platform. And 964 startups have been supported, and 136 technologies have been commercialized. Now we have other programs on Manthan platform, which I hope you will go and look at the website. In this we have almost 70,000 users right now on Manthan platform, and we have programs, Women in STEM, Women Entrepreneurship Program, specifically aiming that, Women Scholarship and Mentorship Program, Internship for women and women college students, and we have made Amazon web series on these startups, and this is again, some of them are taking extreme interest. So we have come out with 2 books. She is in water, she rose, and the other one, 75 women in STEAM, she is stories of women. So this is a small effort from our side which will add to the ongoing efforts in India to really empower she. Other program I thought I'll take, am I exceeding my time? No? Little bit? No worry? Okay. So this is the life of a professor. Once they come to the stage, you can't take them down. till the class is over. Okay, sorry, this is something again I thought which is very dear to our heart. This was started in August 2024, so it's not even a year old. So what we have done is, I'll tell you the genesis of this. Before that, we have a RUTAG, Rural Technology Application Group, where 74 technologies were developed by 7 IITs for addressing problems in the rural sector. But their deployment was limited because they made, let's say, 10 to 15 units, gave it to village, we supported them, but it was really not amplifying the way we wanted it, because there is a limitation in our efforts which can take that. So this concept has now come where we are talking of RUTAG E Smart Village Centers. So under this, what we are doing is we are making self-sustaining technology hubs in villages to bridge the gap between rural needs and innovative solution. So our idea is very simple. All of this has to be governed by the village. We will empower them. So there will be a village hub which will take care of about 30 to 40 villages around it, a cluster of 25 villages typically, and the center head is a village woman. And Lakpati Didi or whatever we have that program, or some ex-serviceman. So both, because in all villages we don't have, for example, Lakpati Didi. So they have to be excited to take it up. So they have taken it. Local NGOs, partners, administrators, village pradhan, they are all connected. So right now we have launched 22. This is like few days old slide. 22 RSVCs have been established in various states. Now let me just tell, this center which we make, it's about 2 rooms in a village, about 500 square feet, with the technologies developed in RUTAG. We put the actual technologies. We put agriculture services like how to take advantage of the satellite maps for the farmers. How do we do the soil testing in the lab with a very, very small amount of money. And this is being run by young students, young village students and these girls. And they are really like most of them have done BScs and so on. This is giving them the job opportunities. So initial center costs something like 15 to 20 lakhs for all the facilities. It's very high tech. If you should go to one of them, the nearest one is in Haryana, in Mandora village, where I went recently to inaugurate. It's so wonderful that all these young people are running, and they have the programs which are earning them the revenues to sustain the center. So we do not want it to be a burden on government. And this 20 lakhs have also come from private money. So we have CSR, we have high net worth individuals, all of them are coming forward to set up this. And many now state governments are saying they are setting it up. So this model is expanding, and in the last 6 months we have set up 22 working ones, and the agriculture services have already been launched, and they are really making this. So many beautiful things are there. One which I'll mention, because Ashutosh said that the best IIT, if there is a quiz, which will be the one? He made a quiz, right? And he gave the answer, IIT Kanpur. So IIT Kanpur has a technology which came under RUTAG. It is a LGB fertilizer. This fertilizer, what it is, this is done by microbiologists in IIT Kanpur. They have a solution with microbes. Those microbes, which I think maybe few hundreds, are specific to a particular crop. Supposing you have a crop in cotton or horticulture or anything, it is specialized. So this 1 liter one makes about few tons of fertilizer using the cow dung, using whole recipes are there. There are 5 elements including good and many things in a pit, You keep it for 20 days and then it is ready. And it is now being sold at some price I forget, but 15,000 tons of this fertilizer has already been sold. So it is called Nava Kosh. You can Google it, and people are buying it because the results have been so phenomenal of this organic fertilizer. This is there in all RSVC centers, because by that they can, so they make the fertilizers now. They don't have to go to any other place. They only buy the essential microbe, this thing solution from this industry, which is done by IIT Kanpur. So I thought it is something which should be all proud of, to see how this high-tech innovation from this IIT Kanpur, and there are many, many more. One is the Sabji Kothi. In Sabji Kothi, it is without electricity, and it's not 20 watt of solar power, but it keeps the vegetables fresh for 20 days. Do you know how? Can you guess? I couldn't have guessed. Okay, you are not very far, but what they do is little more. The vegetables go bad because you have ethylene coming out, which is making the vegetables ripe. So what they have done is they force air into this thing, which is the moist air, and it decomposes that into CO2 plus H2O. Just by that circulation, the vegetables are fresh. I saw this demonstration for almost 20 days, and this Sabji Kathi costs very little, because it has only few 1 or 2 pumps and the double-sided wall and so on. And again, an innovation under RUTAG, which is now being scaled up in this RSVC. So I just thought, since I am very excited about taking it to all over the place, I thought I'll mention this. The other effort which we have, which again I will not mention in detail, is the clusters. So our office has made 7 clusters in the cities, and these clusters are, this is the shared ecosystem with universities, all the universities in that area, all the institutions, labs, and municipal corporations and so on, and they decide what technology is needed, what innovation is needed to solve the local problem. So it could be a local problem of water, it could be anything, water, waste management and so on, and all these clusters are doing exceedingly well. So we have gone to the phase 2. Under this program, also there is a small effort in women encouragement. So women scholarships and mentorship have been implemented by Pune cluster, and Teach with Tech, this is again Pune cluster along with the Lenovo, and again you can see 1,000 girl students trained, 580 plus female teachers empowered and so on. And there are few other programs which I didn't have time. So I think this is again internship women college students, again with the Hyderabad cluster. I will not read it, but this is again along with other institutions and the private sector. So all these are really funded by private sector. So our funding in cluster forming goes in the initial cluster forming, few tens of few crores. So they hire the right people, hire the right CEO, and they are encouraged to generate their resources to do all these programs. My last slide is something which I mentioned in the beginning. So what we thought was that we should have a way to get the data from various institutions, various laboratories. How are they doing in this STEM inclusivity? Where do they stand? We have really no data on what is the standing of various institutes, how do we rate them, because we have AAA, all those ratings. One other parameters, can we have actual data on this? So this was launched for public consultation on a few days back. It is there on our website. Please do look at the proforma which people will be encouraged to fill and submit. And this is again ensuring gender-based equity, promoting other historically undeserved groups, ensuring diversity of thoughts, discipline, perspective, and experience, ensuring plurality of knowledge and languages, and fostering just, ethical, and open science. Again, all the aspects which you want to look at in this inclusivity. It's not only the gender, but also all other aspects. So I think once again, let me thank INSA for today's event. Wonderful event to be here, and all the efforts which INSA is doing in policy domain and otherwise are most welcome, and it is a pleasure to be connected with INSA. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful presentation. You shared with us the decade of exponential growth of women in STI and percentage of women-led startups in the startup ecosystem. Women hold only 10% in deep tech startups, and more efforts are required to increase the representation of women in this area. To fulfill the goal of Bharat, Viksit Bharat, your insights have provided a compelling roadmap for empowering women in science and technology through stronger industry-academia collaboration, increase in funding for women-led startups in the STI ecosystem, and more women in leadership positions in STEM and STI. Your words reaffirm the need for collective action, and we are truly grateful to you, sir, for your leadership role in inculcating an equitable and innovative future. Thank you, sir. I now invite Professor Ashutosh Sharma, President INSA, to felicitate Professor Sood.